My name is Susan.
My name is Eunice.
My name is Wango.
Mumnationke.
Bagari. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on our episodes.
Karibuni Mumnation.
Hi, welcome to Mumnation. Please share, subscribe. We are on a journey to 1,000 subscribers. Guys, tell your people to subscribe. Men and women, children, no, not children, men and women. Today we are going to discuss the birds and the bees. I'm not going to say what it means, why it's called birds and the bees. But basically we are going to talk about puberty, reproduction, how we talk about puberty and reproduction to our children, how we talk about sexuality, periods, and sex. How do we introduce that to our children? But first, let's talk about how was this introduced to us when we were children. Do you recall? Because
Yes, it was a lesson.
my memory was a lesson in class in standard 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, ours was not a lesson.
Mrs. Murithi.
Ours was not a lesson. I remember Miss Apudo at the time. She called, I think, girls from class, was it 6 and 7 or 7 and 8? I can't remember. And then we were talked about changes, periods. Yeah.
Oh,
That
so
was
it was just girls on their own.
It was girls on their own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe
Ours
in
was
school.
mixed. Yeah.
It was in school in class. Class 5, I think.
My only
What?
memory is my auntie.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But I was at class 8. I was in class 8. Interestingly, I can't remember any other before.
Just that.
Home science, where you saw the diagram of the girl.
Yes.
This one.
fallopian
Yeah.
The fallopian tube.
And then the boy. And then we used to laugh a lot.
We were just giggling.
Yeah, so for me, I was 2 years older than my classmates. So by the time at that time in class 5, you should have been 11 years old. I was 13. So by that time, my boobs were already meloning. I don't remember if I had already. No, my periods came a little bit later. So by the time now Mrs. Murithi was talking about it, already I was very self-conscious because at home nobody had talked to me about it. But now I used to wear a sweater even on a very hot day, in making an effort to like hide it and all that. So for me, it was not a very comfortable time in my life. Then puberty hit me hard. I used to sweat, like, yeah, so those things that come with adolescence, all those changes, they hit me. So I used to sweat, and now, with your classmates, they're different. I'm different from them. I'm the one who was different because I was the older one. And it was confusing. I didn't like the way it was done, the way I got to learn about it. Not that the school did a bad idea, but a bad thing. But when they did it, then I understood now what the changes were. But already by that time, these changes started when I was, I think, in class 4. And today, these changes start even earlier. Yeah, because we know of like 8-year-old girls or 9-year-old girls who are already getting their periods. So at what point we here, because we all have children of different ages, at what point do you intend to like start, or did you talk to your children about the changes to their bodies? I'll start with the one with the oldest child.
Well, I began when we were showering. Those days of showering. Not even now. When she was still a single-digit aged child. Showing them the differences between her and boys, because they would shower with her cousins, and so there would be differences, and be like, I don't know their penis. I don't have these. Why is yours outside? Why is girls? How come it's different? So it starts then. I think it starts then, just by differentiating that girls and boys are different, and these are the names of the private parts of the organs. So I have started talking to her. So now she's blooming. She has 2 small boobs. So now we're wearing boob tops. And she wore them. I think she got excited all of 1 week. After that, she stopped wearing them. So she was like,
Serious?
What is this?
But yeah, she's like, no, I have to wear an additional. She's like, no, I don't like it. So, okay, so we're on a break. And then, what else? But yeah, so now more and more, even her, she's interested. I just haven't found that time to, you know, to sit and have the conversation, because she asks me what pads are. Like she sees them in the bathroom. She'll ask me, okay, what are these? What do you use them for? Even liners. I found her and my niece had removed my liners, and they had said wearing them. So I was like, so where did you wear them? So, you know, you just have that conversation there. You're like, this is for protecting, you know, for this. But, you know, I haven't, like, deliberately started.
Okay. But have you talked to your son? Because you're talking about you only talk to your
My
daughter.
son is the same thing. Like, you know, we are now being comfortable about the name of your organ.
Your device.
Your device. You can check device for here.
Yeah.
The
So
name of your
what
organ.
you're saying is call it what it is.
Call it what it is.
Call it what it is. If it's a penis, call it a penis.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, I tell my 8-year-old this is called a penis, then my 2 and 3-year-old will be in the middle of somewhere.
Okay, but it's
That is penis! Something.
But a penis is a penis.
I know, but you know, it's just in what context and where you are at. Then you're like,
Okay, what is wrong with not calling it the way it is?
I don't
Me just tell me.
Oh, me. Let me
Because
tell you
because
a
us we are
story.
still not calling it.
This is a story my daughter told me that her teacher told her, who I really like. I really appreciate Miss Dorothy. She said, you must call your things the way they are, because she gave them a story in class. This is like all of a month ago. She's like, there's this girl who was being molested or touched. Then she goes and tells her mommy, Uncle Nani touched my cookie. Uncle Nani touched my cookie. Then it became Uncle Nani licked my cookie. So everyone who listens is
Thinks it's a
like,
cookie.
it's okay to share
wow.
because you've been taught that that's a cookie. You know, so she like had she gone home and said, had she even the first day said, Mama, Uncle Nani touched my vagina or my private parts or my whatever, it would have been very different.
Yeah.
So for me, when my daughter let me now answer your question. When my daughter came and told us that story, this is all of a month. She's 8. We sat to talk about everything. We talked about pads, we talked about periods, we talked about her vagina and why would, you know, so now the concept that school was trying to give is name them by their names. So we got, so they didn't talk about periods, they were just talking about body parts. So yeah, so when she came home now, I took it further. We had a period talk. We had we didn't talk about boobs and the body changing. We just started with the P talk. Yeah. It was an interesting conversation.
And did you do it alone or did you do it with the father?
I did it alone at first. It was just me and her on the bed. Like we just had this talk. We opened a pad, told her what it is for. You know, her biggest concern is she knows that when you're cut, you bleed and it's painful. It's like, how can blood be coming out? So are you in pain?
Yeah, so that was her concern as well. She was
Yeah.
like, so who cut you or how are you bleeding?
Yeah, just.
She was, she just.
Yeah.
And then is it painful? I think that's,
So I also couldn't go into the nitty-gritties of how and where and da-da-da-da-da. But and then the next time we just told Daddy, we talked about period talk today. Then he just, like, you know how before he comes home, we send a text. Hey, question, this is the discussion of the day. So when he came in, she was so excited to talk about period talks and pads, and he played like a true ninja.
Oh, good for him.
Like for real, he played like a true ninja.
what happened.
Yeah.
We didn't go into details, but he said yes, it happens to girls when you get to the age. And then so now, for me, it was important that she hears it first at home. And what I liked about school, I don't know where the teacher was coming from, but when she gave them that story, you know, she was narrating to us, we were like, huh?
Yeah.
You know, and then so now when she told us at dinner, you're like, and so teacher said you don't say cookie, you don't say, you call it by a vagina, you say my vagina, so that you're not confused. Do you imagine when a child is, no, the story about licking and sharing, and they're telling a child it's okay to share, you think it's digestive.
Okay.
You know, there's a time, when you're on your period and then you go to the loo, then there's the tissue that
Remains.
that
is red.
remains. So he's like, Mom, there was a
Someone was
tissue.
bleeding.
Yeah, someone was bleeding in the toilet.
You want to
Where do I start?
I'm not ready. And when I'm listening to this, I'm like, yeah, that was a teachable moment.
Yes.
But I was not ready. Imagine.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
But are we ever ready, or we just
You see, like
get
life-
the bull by the
you
horns?
see, like life balance.
Yeah.
You're never ready.
You're never ready.
just happens.
It
Yeah.
just happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get in there and swim with it.
Just get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, at what age is it appropriate? You did at 8, but you see you got a teachable moment, so you just grasped on that.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys had decided we will start talking to her about it at this
No, but
age.
me, I decided. I was like, yeah, we need to start talking about it because she's 8. Nowadays, it's happening so early in life. So I don't want it to happen and she's never heard about it.
Exactly.
So maybe by when she's 9, going towards 10, we'll prepare. And I told her, I was like, we'll make her like a period bag. So you'll have your own, because she'll be carrying it to school, you know, as me, like just make it fancy and cute. And make that conversation
Light.
light and serious. Yeah, because but my prayer is that can she wait longer, because gosh, she can't even take care of herself.
But that's your prayer. But if God decides she's
If
to
it
start
comes,
next
hey,
year,
we'll be ready.
and I like what you said. It's I would like even my children to learn about it from home first, so that by the time school is learning about it, is teaching them about it. They already have an idea. You see, because school will teach that concept. You see, like now the way your daughter was asking you, is the bleeding painful? But you see now school will give them the diagram, tell them these are the changes, and this is why you bleed. You know. So I think it's very important that they learn about it from home. And another thing, let's not, as parents, I think we should not assume that it's the girls who need the talk. Yes. So if your girl,
Why
she's
do boys need
8,
the talk?
yeah, your girl is 8. My son is 8. I should also be talking to him about these changes, both in him and in girls, so that should he like happen to stumble upon such changes, like say I told you, me I was older, so I got a lot of ridicule. I got a lot of pressure being told you need to get a bra, and I was like, what is a bra? You know, all those things, you know, it was so much pressure. But you see, if like if I teach my son that these are the changes that happen in girls, and they are likely to get those changes before you. Yeah. So if let's say a girl stains her dress in class, for example, it's not a reason to laugh and ridicule her, because it's a natural change, and he needs to understand that is what is happening. So I think the boys also need to learn about it, and they need to learn that when it gets to that point, you can give a girl a baby. I don't know how that conversation which direction that conversation will go, but God help me.
Give the baby.
Yeah.
So does the girl need to know what changes are happening in the boy?
Yes.
What changes are happening in the boy? He's breaking his voice.
He breaks his
They
voice,
become
he starts
taller.
they become taller, he starts producing sperm. So they start getting those wet dreams. You know. And then you can have a baby. He can give you a baby.
But wait, I think
I don't know how you
I
put
think
it.
we might need. I think we might need to go back to like the different ages, yeah. Yes. Because every child, every gender goes through that gender growth. So I think for boys, maybe at 8 years old, there are changes, because you'll see that he's growing. Of course, as a child, he's becoming taller. Maybe. I don't know what changes, but I'm
They
sure
sweat,
for
that's
boys.
why
Yeah,
they
more,
sweat.
they might break into pimples.
Yeah, breaking
yeah.
into
Yeah.
pimples.
Deep
Like even for my daughter, she's so now she's much taller. She's sleeping more. Kumbe, it's a thing.
It's a growth.
It's a
Oh, it's a growth thing.
Yeah, Caroline Motoko also talked about it. So she was like, the way babies have growth spurts where they're either sleeping a lot or they're fasting or whatever. Even
Teenagers.
teenagers
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
have
It's a
their
growth
own.
spurt.
They have their own thing, so they sleep a lot. They
That
they
body
have
is aching.
the body is aching.
The
During
body
my
pains.
backache, my stomach ache. I'm like, really?
And at the same time, they're even more active.
Yeah, they're also
Yes,
more
yeah.
active. Yeah.
Yeah, and they eat more.
That's
They're eating more.
Yeah, but you see, it's important for your sons also to know, if especially if you have mixed, like you have daughters and sons. So if they see their sister changing,
Yes.
they need to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not laugh.
And not laugh.
protect.
Yeah, because the sister is likely to change sooner than them. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
Learning, eh?
Yes, yeah. We are learning from ourselves. For ourselves, yeah. Yeah.
But if any one of
Yeah,
you guys who
our-
are watching
yeah.
have already started that Birds and the Bees conversation, please plug in. Tell us what you used: pictures, illustrations, videos, anything that can
Yeah.
help.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think when we were prepping for this, like we were looking at what tips can you take, can you get. So like you can give us some tips, but some of the tips you got was like be intentional. Don't just let it happen. Think about it. Like now, what brought this up is because we were thinking about it. Like, when do we need to start? Because now our kids are approaching. Yeah, they're approaching double digits. Some of us already are at double digits. So if we keep procrastinating, then it will not. It will just happen to us. Yeah. Then we'll be dealing with a crisis. Yeah, putting up a fire. And one of the other things was Susan pointed out, look out for teachable moments. Like the way Wango saw a teachable moment and she just capitalized on it. Yeah. But I also think the fathers need to be part of this talk.
No, they must. It's a
For
family
both.
conversation.
Because before it used to be the mothers doing the talk for the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it
And-
was so different.
And then you tell the father to do the talk.
Yeah,
Of course,
for the
he's uncomfortable
boys.
about it.
Yeah.
Then he says, "Yes, we had the talk," but you don't know what was discussed at the talk, so you don't know. Maybe he was told you'll break your voice. And your story may land.
Okay, I'm remembering a moment, maybe. Auntie Shiro. It was a teachable moment, but I don't know if I handled it well. And the father was not around. So, as we call it Coco. So now I'm going to change. We're going to start calling
Coco?
it ladies.
You
Now I've
see
learned.
that change starts with us.
So that's my assignment.
Yeah.
So for like a few days, he kept on saying, "Mommy, why is my
Your
so
Coco
big? Why is it
he
so
asked you why
big?"
his
Oh,
Coco is
he
big.
is.
Yeah, he is. Yes.
compared to
Compared
who?
to the baby.
It just came out. He was
Are you
going
sure
to
it wasn't
Susu.
swollen or something?
No. Why is my Coco so big?
When he was Susu.
When I was going to Susu.
It normally swells.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Then I was like, but because you're growing. I think I kept on saying, because you're growing. And that question kept coming.
He was bothered.
Maybe I'd seen the babies
Maybe.
and thought the babies is small.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Compared
other
to
boys
his.
in
Or
school
other boys in school.
Maybe.
as they're going.
They're going susu. Oh my gosh! I have boys. I'm feeling stressed.
Me, I'm still at Coco.
Just laugh about it.
What?
I'm feeling a bit
How did you come up with Coco?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just
Which are you,
happened.
JP?
I think
Yeah.
Jango
It's a Jango thing.
Yeah, I think it is.
So we have to be intentional. Call the organ by its name and alert them. Those are the private parts, and nobody should touch them.